Hello world, Moroni Lizwe, Kamalam Nusivia Gakumelo, and welcome to my channel, Bitnan. On this side of the internet now, we focus on mental health, we focus on self-awareness, self-education, self-healing, and we do that by educating ourselves and making ourselves aware of what's going on Yabona within us. So today I'm not doing anything different other than, guys, I just decided, you know what, so I'm gonna pole. I don't want any makeup, so I'm going for a no makeup look because my pores have been clogged, okay, by makeup. But today, you know, I'm doing, the natural look. So anyways, today a topic in Amplanja, we're talking about validation, right? And I have experienced this as now. If you clicked on this because we're talking about validation, then you can relate. You know that thing of wanting the world to validate you or how great you are when it comes to your talent, when it comes to your looks, personality, character, and you want someone, to, I don't know, give you the heads up that you are actually going the right way. Sometimes we do need people to do that for us, depending on what we are doing. You understand? But when it comes to who we are, it's very dangerous to rely on other people to tell us who we are and whether we are worthy or good enough, to exist in the world. Is very, very dangerous because you're kind of like putting your happiness, your joy, in someone else's hands. And I've been thinking about this a lot. And other people, have co-signed me that actually you need validation from within, right? Not to be searching it elsewhere. And other people, because they're hating on you, when they see you confident, sometimes they can say things like, yes, say things like, well, okay, when yes, Jayla, oh, who do you think you are? And actually, that's a good sign that you have validated yourself instead of waiting for other people to validate you. Because yeah, if you're waiting on other people to tell you how you look, they can decide they just want to crush you. Other people don't like you out there, other people despise you, and they can decide, you know what, I just want to make her day effed up. And they can crush you and invalidate your look and invalidate your talent and invalidate so many things. So it's very dangerous to live in the world according to other people's, validation of who we are. And I think there is a healthy way of, by the way, I did my own nails last night. I don't know what you guys think. I like this color. It's very bright. It's like the contrast between my skin and the blue. Love it. Yeah. So, um, let's say you are in medical school or um, you are in acting school and you don't know, you've never done this before in your life, but you have a passion for it. Obviously, someone is going to guide you and tell you, how to section something else or how to cut, how to do surgery, and they need to validate what you're doing. That is very understandable because that's a professional field, right? Or in acting, and they tell you about the character, how do you embody a certain character, how do you control this, how do you go about it, how do you perform on stage, how do you perform, in front of the camera and things like that. That's okay to get validation from them, but after you've done training, you must have a sense of knowing yourself or knowing who you are so that you don't rely on other people's validation. And this is so dangerous because I've seen it in Kanye West. It appears as if Kanye West, like, he's just waiting on other artists to validate him. He's always looking for like Jay-Z or Beyonce, to give him the, and it makes him look very, like, very unstable, very sick, but obviously this is alleged because I don't know these people. But looking at them, like looking at him specifically, Kanye, is like, it's not a good look. It makes him look insecure, unstable, mentally unstable. And actually he's a great artist. So that is very, very, very unfortunate. So I would say, Yumna, if you want to be validated, you need to validate yourself from within, right? And I know people will say, okay, they don't like their certain features, or they don't like their nose, or they don't like their lips, they don't like their hair, or they don't like their skin. And where does that come from? That's because you're comparing yourself to other people, or you've internalized someone's judgment towards your features or towards your looks. The way that I've been able to overcome that was to understand that actually I am from Africa and I am an African, and we have like particular or the like different type of features than other people from other continents, you know. I'm talking about specifically like the native Africans. You have like, you know, your flat nose and your thick lips and your dark skin. But the skin, the shade of the skin, it varies. It varies. There are people that are darker than me and there are people that are lighter than me, which is okay. And we have hair that points to the sun. And it's okay because it's for it understand we get these features because of, you know, the environment or for our survival. You know, it's sunny in Africa. You need your nose to be, you know, bigger so that you can be able to inhale. In Europe, it's a little bit cold, so it makes sense that they would have like pointy, long noses. You know, it makes sense that more African or the majority of African women have, you know, larger hips or larger arms because, you know, they are the first people. You know, they have the according to science, they have the Eve gene, you know, they're the mother of all races, you know, they can give too much, they can give birth to multiple people. So, and people in Europe don't need melanin, so it's okay if they're lighter. So, if someone were to discriminate against me because of my skin, that would be stupid to me because it's like, okay, well, I live in Africa, I do need melanin. Like for instance, if someone would like hate on me because of my skin or my skin tone, like I need melanin. I'm in Africa. It's sunny here. I need it benefits me. In Europe, it might not benefit me because it's cold. I might suffer from seasonal depression. Or someone that it has a pale face in Europe, it's fine because they don't need melanin because it's cold. It's cold there, you know, in other parts of the world. So I don't really take offense to that. It's like, okay, my features, you know, they benefit my environment, they benefit my survival in the environment that I'm living in. So I don't really care that much, you know, for that. Or the certain shape of my nose or the certain shape of my lips or my hips, like I need it for the environment. Like nature knows why I'm created this way, so I don't really need, you know, to look like other people. It's okay, I look this way because there's a purpose that I look this way. It's for my own survival. So when I look at that, I stopped, you know, wishing, oh my God, I was lighter. Oh my God, I had a pointy nose or I had, you know, skinny lips or whatever. I stopped that. Like, I love my hair. It protects me from the sun. Okay. I like my afro. I don't need long European hair, even though, like, we do wear wigs and we do love braids, you know, just for styling purposes because it's nice to play with hair. So, it's important to validate yourself and to know and to really look at yourself and see, okay, do you know what ugly is? Do you know what beautiful is? And, you know, make a decision for yourself instead of relying on the standard of beauty out there. Like, am I ugly? Am I beautiful? And if you're beautiful, that's who you are. You're beautiful. You don't need other people can just add on to what you already know. You're beautiful. Okay, thank you. But it should not determine or how you feel about yourself. You should be the one, you know, that's determining how you feel about yourself, not other people. You know what I mean? And because of that, I stopped relying on other people's validation. Like, oh my God, how I look. On other days, I may not look as good, but still, I know I am not ugly. I am not ugly. You know, it's something that I tell myself, and you should do the same thing too. You know, and also there's that book that's called the Five Love Languages. I've read that book and I've taken the test and I know my love languages, but I don't actually depend on that book to actually know who I am or how I live or how I receive love. Love is love. We all need those things, but at the same time, there is the love language called the words of affirmation. I think if you need like words of affirmation, is because you have not affirmed yourself. It just says that you have not affirmed yourself. You rely on other people or you depend on other people psychologically to affirm you, to tell you who you are, to tell you who you, if you're strong or you're weak or you're beautiful or you're ugly, and you don't necessarily know yourself. And I think it's better to affirm yourself and to know yourself, you know, to look at yourself clearly and know who yourself. Then you're not going to rely on other people to affirm you, because that's a double-edged sword. Other people can turn around and bakwazi. So with words, and that's very damaging psychologically. So I wouldn't rely on that words of affirmation. It used to be my love language until I saw how dangerous words of affirmation are when it comes to relying on other people to give you those things, even in a romantic relationship. Abantu balala baphenduke. You don't know how someone is going to feel about you tomorrow, and if someone's words can lift you up, someone's else someone else's words can also tear you down. So I don't really rely on other people's affirmation to stand. I think that's a very dangerous tool to give to someone else. I feel like you're giving someone else a knife to stab you if they want to. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't like that. Yeah, so don't make that a man's role, because I know other women like, oh, my love language is words of affirmation, so my man has to lift me up. Girl, stop. Affirm yourself or know who you are. Look at yourself. Look at yourself objectively and know who you are. Look at yourself in the mirror physically. Stop comparing yourself to other women, especially other women from other parts of the world that are not from your race or ethnic group. Like, look at, like, if I'm looking at black women have that similar features as me and they look beautiful. And Asian women should look, to other Asian women and see like they're embracing their beauty and they look beautiful. We don't have to look similar. We don't have to look the same. You know what I mean? So I would say it is very dangerous to depend on a man for your confidence, or my man has to, he knows my love language is words of affirmation. Like, nah, baba. You need to rise above that. You need to be so confident that you don't rely on that man's affirmation in order to stand strong or to be confident, because he can take your confidence if he wants to. Like, do you really want to give a man that power? And vice versa to men. Like, do you really want to give that power to a woman? Really? Affirm yourself and be okay. Whether she affirms you or not affirms you, it shouldn't bother you, because you're already invalid. I mean, you already validated yourself internally and you are good. Her validation should be just an addition. I'm like, okay, thanks. But it shouldn't affect you like that. I think that's very, very dangerous. Also, if you feel insecure about something, I think you should really investigate why that bothers you so much. You know what I mean? People can be told what's beautiful and they can buy it, okay? I remember when I used to watch television long time ago, when black girls, should be, when they used to be on TV, and their bums, they're a little bit bigger than the others, the majority of them. And other races would like make, or Caucasian sometimes would make fun of them, like, oh my god, you have a big bum, ew, and all that. But since the Kardashians, now it's an in thing for a girl to have a big bum. It's like, oh my god. Obviously, in Africa, we've been embracing our big bums, or the women that have big bums. We've made that a standard of beauty. We love that, and I think we've made it a standard of beauty for ourselves, not necessarily for other people, but for ourselves, because we're embracing the features that we have. But on an international level, they used to like make fun of girls on TV, but now, because the Kardashians and other celebrities or influencers, they've gotten the surgeries and now they have the big bums. Now people glorify big bums. So you see, people's perceptions can be altered about beauty. Tomorrow maybe it will be the flat bums. Who knows? Or tomorrow it will be the flat nose. It won't be the European nose. Not to say that the European nose is not beautiful. It is beautiful, but it's not the only nose that is acceptable or beautiful. Like, you decide what's beautiful. You decide. And you can actually influence people's perception of beauty. We can, because when we do makeup, we want that nose, but our nose is fine. I don't have makeup today, and you can see how my nose looks. It looks fine. You know what I mean? It looks fine. And I decide how I feel about it, not my neighbor. So I think you should investigate your beauty. Is it because of the beauty standard? Is it because what other people are saying? Are you relying on what other people say about you in order to be okay with how you look? Like, investigate the insecurity and decide what's true and not true. You know? Other people's opinions are not the truth. They're just opinions. They're things that are made up. They're not facts. So you decide. So decide today, but decide what works for you. So yeah, and that's it. Actually, that's it. Is today's video is just about validating yourself, like how you feel about yourself. Validate yourself so that you can be confident and you can be able to trust yourself. I think when you are able to validate yourself, you can be able to trust yourself and work confidently, instead of like placing your confidence on other people's hands, because that can backfire. That can backfire. You know you better than other people, and you should actually what is this word? You can actually thrive or strive to get to know you better than other people know you. And you get to do that by looking at yourself objectively, also subjectively, so that you can be a master of yourself. And I think that's very important to do. And you can do that through journaling, you can do that through meditation, you can do that through looking at yourself in the mirror and shut the world's opinions down, so that you can hear your own self. What are you saying for yourself? Don't chase what boys or what girls find attractive. If you find you attractive, okay, cool. Also, people have multiple types. Not everyone likes the curvy girls, others they like the lean girls. So there's always going to be someone who favors you, who favors your features, who likes your features. It doesn't have to be like the whole population. No, I don't like um necessarily the same standard of beauty. I can like something different than what other people like, and that's okay. So, and that's it. Sicele, sixelele. And that just means validate yourself. Validate yourself, affirm yourself, get to know who you are, and don't rely on other people's opinion or how you should feel about yourself. That's very, very, very dangerous. I love you, and subscribe and share to someone that needs this. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.